Eduardo Mondlane University is part of a higher education system in Mozambique. Founded in 1962, is the first university in the country and the oldest too. And in the last years now we are getting to 60 years of existence in the country. In the last years we have been responsible for the training of many Mozambicans who are now working in different parts of the country and also in Mozambique. So in the beginning of our institution, we were a relatively small institution with very few courses. But after independence, in the beginning it was called Universidade de Lourenço Marques, or Estudos Gerais Universitários. From independence onwards, it was then called Eduardo Mondlane University. This is the recognition of the efforts of Dr. Eduardo Mondlane, who was the first president of the freedom fighters movement. As I was saying, at the beginning we were a very small university. With the independence, we were forced to change our vision because the country had a lack of lectures or teachers for secondary school. So the university itself was transformed, I have to say, in a kind of a training institute for teachers for secondary schools. Apart of that, there were some courses which were still existing, but the majority of them were closed because the country didn't have enough lectures for the university, didn't have enough teachers for the secondary school. So the priority was teaching for the secondary school teachers. This was like this for a long period, I have to say. But in 1985, the government has decided to create an institution which is responsible for training of teachers. So from that time on, the training of teachers was removed to another institution, and the university started again to be a full and comprehensive university in Mozambique. From that side on, we started to offer different courses. We are offering almost all courses from agronomy to veterinary sciences. We are organized in faculties and schools. So we have 11 faculties. And we have also 6 schools, a part of some centers of research. This university has been in the last years a teaching university, but from 2013 we have decided to transform ourselves in a research-led university because we were convinced that as Mozambique has many universities, we should make a difference, trying to do something different because we have the human capital, we have the infrastructure. So we decided to be a research-led university in our vision and our mission. So this, the fact that we made this differentiation of leaving to be a more teaching university to be a more research-led university is what makes me proud about the Eduardo Mondlane University. The Eduardo Mondlane University, as I mentioned, has almost all the faculties and all areas of study. And for us, as I said, research is important. But in a country like ours, where you have small problems in the communities, we think that research as such is not a solution for the basic problems we have. It is important, yes, for publications, all these things which are important for an academic, but we think that the application of the results to the problems of the community, this should be the way to go. Because we have sanitary problems, we have food problems, we have lack of water, all these things. Our idea is that we should use the results to improve the living of the communities. And for example, in agriculture, our research results are responsible, for example, to increase the productivity of some crops, basic crops, because the people are using cowpea, groundnut, all these small scale farmers, they can benefit from our research. In agriculture also, another example is that we have many pests and diseases, and the small scale farmers, they don't have sometimes the pesticide to it. So they will use the basic methods which are used at the university so that they can combat the pesticides. In the area of water and sanitation, also we have some examples in which using, for example, plants, we can clean the water. Using some seeds, we can also clean the water so that the population has a kind of a better condition, water which can be usable. And on the other hand, the country doesn't have a very nice energy grid. So we have a center for renewable energies, which helps the people who are far from the city to have a kind of clean energy. But this also energy can also use it for schools, for hospitals. And these are some examples on how research can be used to improve the conditions of the poor communities, which are still facing basic problems, as I said, in Mozambique. This is why we give extension a very important, we give extension importance, but in the sense that research without application is not enough for a country like ours. Our university has at the moment about 40,000 students from BScs, Masters and PhDs, about 2,000 technical staff, and about 160 academic staff. So this is the community which we have at the university. As I said, we are a very comprehensive university, and for us, one of the many challenges we have, this is the infrastructure. Every year we receive about 20,000 candidates who want to come to the university, but we can only absorb about 5,000. It means the issue of access to higher education for our university and for the country and for the region is still a high priority because there are many children who are not coming to the university because we do not have enough space. So I think the issue of infrastructure will be important in order to improve access to higher education in Mozambique. The other issue is that, as I said, we have many universities now which are offering different courses, but as the Eduardo Mondlane University, we want to continue to be a prestigious university. In order to be prestigious university, we have to invest on quality. So quality assurance is something what is important at all levels, I mean in academic level, but also in the institutional level. We have to invest so that we can continue to be in the top in terms of universities. Another challenge is that of training of our lectures. The transformation to a research university needs people with masters and PhDs. So the training of our colleagues at masters and PhDs is another challenge, and here comes the cooperation with the universities here in the CIVIS region, or not only, so that we can send our lecturers to be trained at the master's and PhD level. But we can also organize masters and PhDs at our country so that we do not have people moving here, but with the support of the lecture of different universities, we can improve the quality of our teachers and our lectures trained at home at master's and PhD level. Another challenge would be the one of having an environment to do research. Because a university without research, as I mentioned, is not a university, it's just a teaching school. So, but to do quality research, it is necessary to invest on infrastructure. It is necessary to invest on equipment. And this investment is not enough from our country. There is a lot of funding from the country for the research part at least. So we should or will have to look for alternatives to get more funds for research, because for the working of the university, the government is supporting, but for the research part, we have to look for alternatives. Ourselves, we have initiated some kind of private-public partnerships. So bring the private system to the university so that we can get extra funds. We ourselves also have prepared what we call research fund. With the research fund, we are trying to get funds from different donors, put it in a pot, and try to distribute it to our lecturers so that they can do a kind of some quality research. And the last one I think I should mention is the issue of being more internationalization of the university. We are a Portuguese-speaking country, but we think that the language should not be a barrier to students to come to the university. So this is why at the graduate level we are teaching, at the undergraduate level we are teaching in Portuguese, but at the master's and PhD level we are teaching in English, so that we can open the doors to students from different parts of the world who can come and stay at our campus. Otherwise, we would be a Portuguese-speaking university, what is not our goal in terms of future and the prestige, I think. Yeah. I think it is important that every language is given its importance in the system. In our case, the language we are speaking is spoken by billions of people, because as Mozambique, then we have Brazil, where we have many people. So I agree, and I think that we should not give priority to one or another language, but we should give the student the possibility of coming to the campus and have a wide range of opportunities in terms of language. Because of that, we have created a Center for Language Studies. This Center for Language Studies is not only doing studies in terms of language, but also training our students so that they can be able to speak not only Portuguese, but other language which used to be Italian, some French, German. It means that I believe that a university campus should also be a multilingual space where everyone can express himself by the language he can. And as I said, there is an effort from our lectures not to teach only in Portuguese, but be able to use other language so that we can attract students who are not only from the Portuguese-speaking community. We have been cooperating with some universities which are members of CIVIS for a long period. Not so many, but at least 3 of them are part of our list. But I think the cooperation, the way it is done now, it is better because it is a kind of multilateral cooperation. That is not a bilateral, it's a multilateral cooperation. With this kind of cooperation, we hope that using the CIVIS Alliance, which are invited us to be part, our network will be enlarged. We will have access not only to 2 or 3 universities, but the university of all the universities which are part of this. The second advantage is that CIVIS has defined some hubs, and these hubs are also aligned with the SDGs. So for us, this is an opportunity of having the possibility of implementing the SDGs using the CIVIS network, which is vibrant and showing all the results. And another one is that, as I mentioned, our training at master and PhD level is still weak. And here, as we see, the university, all of them, they're offering all this kind of training. This is an open door to our lectures to benefit from this kind of training. In summary, the university will be more exposed using the alliance, using the network to benefit from CIVIS is doing. It's mainly implementing the SDGs, which are also almost part of this framework.